Hello. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can. The music is like,
The music was
yeah, the music is like on the
powering.
top.
Hmm. See if I can see any people.
You're very like muted.
You can't hear me for real,
Now,
maybe.
now I can. I think the music was still going on. That's why.
And it might be because I don't got my headphones on. Because normally I have them on.
Oh, but your headphones, it was me actually.
So can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but your headphones is with me.
Oh, not those.
Yeah, they're with me. That's why. That's why you can't use them right now. So. Okay,
Can
look
you hear
at
me?
you, Yonsei, with the short hair. Okay, Yonsei. Je cuisais at this point.
Lord. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. I think it's just you and Wes on here so far, which is fine. We can talk. We always have good conversations. I was trying to see. Hey, Jessica. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. But it's still Tesla. How y'all doing? Okay, y'all can hear me. All right, y'all. I'm trying something new now, so bear with me. Trying to talk to 2 people at once. All righty, so let's get started. Yeah, multitasking. Sometimes it don't be working out. Super pumped. Aw. Yay. I wish you was on Facebook so you can hear what the other people are saying too. I'm going to put, you may be able to see their comments on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put comments on the screen. So just in case you can see their comments from Facebook and you can respond back. All right. Let me know if you can see them, Jessica. Hey, Daryl. Yep, you can see them. Okay. So we can have a conversation now. Hopefully. Okay, y'all. I don't know. Instagram, y'all can't see their comments, but I'll just tell y'all what they said. So, because we got other people on. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. So, before we begin tonight's conversation. Oh, cool. Okay. So before we begin tonight's conversation, I want to say something very important. The purpose of this space is for thoughtful and respectful dialogue. The views shared during this live are personal reflections and opinions intended to spark conversations, not to criticize or judge anyone's life or choices. Everyone's experiences and perspectives are different. And here at Rooted Conversations, we respect that. So as we talk tonight, I encourage everyone to engage respectfully, share your thoughts, and remember that this is a space for open conversation and mutual respect. So let's get started. So hello, everyone, and welcome, even for the new people that are just joining tonight for the first time. I appreciate you joining. I'm the host of Rooted Conversations, where we have real conversations and about identity, purpose, growth, and the journeys we experience in life. So tonight's conversation is something I think about a lot. And I think a lot of women quietly think about this and wrestle with this in their minds as well. But the question is simple, but the answer is a little bit complex. Can women really have it all? Can you have a successful career, meaningful relationships, family, peace of mind, and still maintain your identity as a woman? So, as you join, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Can everybody let me know where you're watching from? I know where some people are, but let me know where you're watching from. And then, so you hear the phrase a lot of women can have it all. But when you really think about it, what does that actually mean? Does it mean a thriving career, a happy relationship, a family, financial success, personal fulfillment, emotional peace? Because when you start listing everything that all might include, it begins to feel like a lot. Sometimes we see the conversations play out publicly with celebrities. For example, Cardi B and her relationship with Offset has sparked a lot of discussions about marriage success and expectations, especially when women reach high levels of success. Sometimes the pressure in relationships become very visible, but this isn't just about celebrities. Many women experience these similar challenges in their own lives that they live. So, the pressure that women carry, I think one of the biggest things that women deal with is expectations from society. Oftentimes, women are expected to be successful professionally, supportive partners, present mothers, emotionally strong, nurturing to others, and sometimes that expectation can feel overwhelming. Do you think women are expected to carry too much? Do y'all think women are expected to carry too much?
Society wise, from society's perspective, I believe so. With everything that's been going on, not only will we have to worry about our personal journey, but I think social norms have shifted quickly and differently to how it was back in the day till now.
True. Do you think and I don't know, can the people on Instagram, can y'all hear her talking too as well? I know y'all can hear me, but can y'all hear her too? I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. So Jessica responded back. She says it's harder for women to achieve equality. But do you think in today's time, and then Wes said no. No, what, Wes? No, can women not have it all? Are you saying no, women can't have it all? Because he said no. Oh, he said, so yes, you think women can have it all. Daryl Anthony said he thinks women can have it all too. Along with equality, I think it's hard for women to access things without both sexist involved as well. Do you agree with her, Janella?
I agree because not only are we trying to not just comparison, but making sure that we still remain competitive with other people, but we're also taking it upon personally as well. So our depending on who you are, what your purpose in life is, what your goal is, whether that's like what you said, a successful relationship, financially, spiritually, mentally, wherever that may be, we're kind of doing a little bit of both, doing personally and also what society wants us to be. So that's why it's kind of hard. I feel like we can have it all, but to a point of what you think all means to you as a person individually.
Yeah, because that was going to be my question. Like, what does women having it all? What does that technically mean to you? So Wes said no. Why do you think many have unobtainable unobtainable expectations? Can you speak on that a little bit, Wes? he's saying many people have unobtain,
With
unobtainable
that, is he talking about
expectations.
people like society or people like personally, like our expectations as women,
That's what I'm trying to find out. Is he meaning men or women?
or
Women
just a
having
societal perspective? Because he has a point, because there
Mhm.
can be where we do have unobtainable expectations because we try to reach for something, but because our expectations are, because of this is our expectations, it it can change how we're gonna get there. So we're always reaching for something that it may or may not, we may or may not reach it. So it depends on like where, if he's talking about it personally, then I get it, or he's talking about men, society, whoever. So it just depends on how he phrased it. He said women, like all of us.
Yeah, so Jessica says she agrees with Wes too. Some do for sure. Sometimes women do have unrealistic expectations. Some women want wine but have beer for money type thing. Yes, yes.
I mean, I can agree with that, 100%.
And then he said perfect life, perfect spouse, perfect job, etc. Sometimes women want wine but have beer money. I think it's human and men do it too. Definitely. Yeah. I think men and
I
women
agree.
do it. Um and then Amina said they may have unrealistic expectations, but we can still have it all. We can have whatever we work towards achieving. What you mean? This is the real world. I believe that if women work hard, they can, but it still has to have a kind of a balance, especially if you got a partner. Many men face reality in life. What do you mean by that? So, do you think society's expectations for women have changed over time? What so growing up, what type of messages did you all hear about how a woman's life should look? He said nothing is perfect.
I mean, I know me growing up, I was taught to be very independent as a woman, where I get exposed to different environments, whether that's for a job or just anything, and I learn as much as I can, and I go to the next one. So then, even if I don't know a lot about one aspect or whatever it was, I have
Mm-hmm.
enough to get by. So that's how I grew up when I was a kid, where my parents were able to expose me to everything and anything that I can choose wherever I want to go into. Which,
Okay.
and you work for what you want.
Amina, how did you grow up? So men can be okay without being or having a perfect life. Amina said, growing up, my daddy told me I can have whatever it is that I want, and he still tells me that to this day. Yeah, pretty much. I would say, I was taught to be very independent too, but I don't think I'm as independent as where I don't think I like need somebody or would benefit from having somebody. And then Daryl Anthony also commented in the house, but time has changed. I tell my daughter she can get and be anything she wants. And then Jessica always also commented that her independence saved her life. Definitely. I can agree with her on that one.
I agree on that one.
And then West said, a woman will leave a relationship because she is not happy. A man will realize he has a responsibility and stick it out, happy or not. True. But I mean, if women can have it all, they should still be able to have their spouse too, right? It shouldn't be where the spouse is leaving just because the woman is strong and independent. Because I feel like sometimes some men are intimidated by a woman who's strong and can like hold her own or whatever. It look I mean, I've met people that act like I was a threat or whatever instead of looking at the strong points that I have and kind of like accentuating it a little bit. So Jessica stated, seed planted, the idea wants and dreams germinate, the environment matters. True that. I do believe environment.
I agree.
I like that saying. Environment does matter. But I don't know, me and Amina, we grew up in the same. Well, me, Amina, and Wes, you know, we grew up in the trenches, so we had to get it out the mud. For real. Well, Janella, you too. You from Baltimore. Yeah. Wes, in contrast to your comment that you made, Jessica also said that she's seen women stick around and endure things and not be happy either. And they haven't left. I've seen that too. I've seen that too. That's right, Daryl. GI to the heart. Sorry, y'all. People are telling me now to share the live link. So, success in relationships. Another question that comes to mind is whether success can create tension in a relationship. So, say you're in a relationship, you have a good relationship going, and then once one of the other people become successful, especially if it's the woman, when a woman is highly ambitious, building a career, pursuing her goals, does that ever create challenges in partnership? And do you think success changes relationship dynamics? Wes said, but on a percentage level, men stick around the most. But do you think when someone elevates to a certain stature, sometimes that it can create issues within a relationship? Because you might not be spending as much time together as you probably did in the beginning, because you're pursuing degrees, professional jobs, balancing kids, it's entrepreneurial. If you're an entrepreneur, you're like balancing all of that. And sometimes it can create issues within a relationship. So Jessica said it's hard sometimes, absolutely. There are all kinds of professional jobs women can have, and it can affect their relationship negatively. I used to play live music and sing and play guitar, and it was like having a plague. Man, they should have liked that. Judgment, accusations, mayhem, and foolishness. And then West said women initiates divorce more so than men. Her attitude usually changes with money.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it kind of goes a little bit of both ways. So let's just say, like, if you have the men making a lot more money than the women, I think that has a little bit of just social norm dynamic where we were told that men are the providers
Mm-hmm.
growing up, so they should be quote unquote making more money than women. Now it's because of the shifting of social norms that we have right now. You see, like, women are starting to become in these positions and these roles that where it's now women are making more money than men. Now, when it comes to the dynamic shifting, whether it's the man is making more or the woman is making more, I think it kind of goes down to the type of relationship that you have and the communication that you guys have on where you're at in your relationship and where the job is at and how does that go into it. So if I'm in a relationship where I'm the breadwinner and I've communicated that to the man and said, hey, if you're okay with me making this much money and you're making this much money and I'm gonna be doing this, I think the stability aspect kind of, if you give him the opportunity to give it to the man, I think he'll be able to understand that it's okay. Now that also depends on the type of comfortability, trust, all that stuff will go into it. And the men, if they're okay with letting, I guess, have the woman kind of like have her moment at. So me, if I was the one making more money than my boyfriend, for me, I know he will be okay with it because as long as there's passive income and primary income and everything is well paid for, there is no argument. There is no anything like that because everything's getting paid. Everybody is getting fed. I think that's as long as that's dealt with, I don't think there will be any type of shift. That's just my thing, but I don't know what everybody else thinks.
And then West said outside interference gets in the way. Yeah, if you're listening to other people and what they say, or
Agreed. Yeah.
if you agree that their opinion really matters in your life, I could see that. And then Jessica also said you have to be able to bring your own to the table. You can't be under anyone's thumb or control or super reliant or basically dependent on someone.
Right.
So, do you think women today feel pressure to succeed professionally in ways previous generations may not have experienced? For sure. Um, what's funny is, little history fact. So, my grandmother, she had 5 children, and at a time when women were supposed to just stay in the house, it wasn't the norm for a woman to go out and work or any of that. Once you had kids, you were supposed to stay at home. But she not only went to work, but she also went and got her nursing degree at a time when that was not of the norm at all. Um, and my grandfather supported her, even though in that time, back in those days, it was more for the woman to be at home or whatever. But he was cool with it. And I feel like now a lot more men are comfortable with women having high profile careers. There's few that can't. It's like they live by a double standard, right? So sometimes they're cool with you making the money, but then they're not cool with you per se being independent. Or some men get intimidated by women who make more money and then want to compare themselves, to their spouse like it's a competition. which is crazy to me. Jessica said women's suffrage is a thing globally since the dawn of time, everywhere across the globe. Yeah. I mean, that's why they have so many movies and stuff talking about it, because it has happened. So it ties into societies being educated and paid equal wages. And then even with that, even though women still have a lot of high profile careers, it could be a man with that same degree, that same line of work and everything, and they'll still make more money than the female just because they're a man. Have you ever felt like pursuing your goals requires sacrifices in other areas of your life that you didn't intend for? I know Janella
Yes,
finna say
absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. Yes.
I was finna say, I know she about to speak. Holla.
Yes, because
As they say, a hit dog will holla.
yeah, hello, rough. Woof, woof. Yeah, I think to get to that educationally, to get to that degree, whatever it is, you have to make those types of sacrifice. Not only that you're bettering yourself, but you're also better what it is that you want future wise, whether that's having kids, family. You want to make sure that you get to where that point for yourself first, so then you can take care of other people. Like, especially me with my family, like they've invested in a lot in my education. Now that I'm there, going to be there, I want to pay that forward.
Right.
So now it's my turn. Like, I'm on the way there, they're already on the way back, is what I've always been taught when it comes to my parents. So now it's my turn to like pay that stuff back.
So Wes made a good point. He said it's not the change, it's how you handle the change. But sometimes I feel like we feel like we're handling the change. It's the people around us sometimes that's not handling the change. Like, people sometimes start acting weird, they start acting different. And it's like you still in your mind the same person you was before you started your journey. So like, say for instance, you start pharmacy school, you know what I mean? Like, you think you're still that same person, you just started pharmacy school, but yet other people will treat you differently, even though you think you're still acting the same way, you know? And then Jessica said, I'm not a mom, but I can't imagine being a single mother trying to get an education. Yeah, it's not easy. Definitely wasn't. Janella, was you finna say something? I didn't want to cut you off. I thought I heard your mic.
I wasn't. I agree with what you were saying, to be honest, because you start seeing the shift. Let's just say that if you're trying to better yourself, like I said, pharmacy school or getting a degree, where you have to say no to like, hey, want to go out? Can't, I'm studying. Hey, do you want to go out? Can't, I'm studying. To that point that what your friends thought that you were, they stop asking because they know it's always going to be a no. So you're going to feel that shift, that tension, like and then now that you're almost done, you know that you're never going to hear them ask anymore because they think you're still going through school. Now you start to be like, are they actually the people that I need in my life, or is it now just shifting to be like, okay, now I'm going to be at this different space where my friends are now slowly getting smaller. My circle of friends slowly getting smaller and smaller, to the point that these are just the people that I am constant with, where they've been patient, where they know that I'm going through. So it's a shift that we're gravitating to, where it's like what you used to be to like now. Not saying it's a bad thing, but keeping those close people that you know will be in your corner, even if you had 3-4 years of pharmacy school where you're like, I'm doing this for me. I think there's definitely a dynamic there for sure, where the attitude or the personality that they started with you is completely different how they're treating you now.
And then Jessica made a comment. She said, sacrifice. When you make the choice, you're on the path, and sometimes it's a lonely one. It's definitely a lonely one. But
100%.
another thing, though, that I feel like people misunderstood, just because you made a comment about saying no when people would ask you stuff. Well, just because someone said no that time doesn't mean that you can't still extend the offer, because it's a possibility that the next time they may be able to, their schedule works out. It's like, don't stop asking just because I couldn't attend that particular day, but it might be another day that I can attend or another function. And I've literally told people before, like, please don't, hold it to my heart. Like, I just can't do it. But some people do feel
they
like you're
feel
just
some type of
shunning them.
way. Yeah, like you're just trying to say no, and that's yeah.
And Jessica, yeah, she right. She said, but it's not a weak path. It's forged from steel. It's just the less traveled. Yes, that is a road that is less traveled.
I agree.
So what role does support from a partner play in whether someone feels like they can have it all? Like, what role do you think, Wes, since you looks like you the only man on here, what role would you play? Say, for instance, if you had a wife and she was more successful than you, and she's trying to embark on her professional journeys, how would you be able to, like, compensate for that? Like, do you think you can make the sacrifice and still hang in there while she's achieving a goal? Yeah, and be like a force of empowerment for her. Because most of the time it's the woman catering to the man all the time, but could you see yourself being on the other side and maybe possibly being the caterer for 3-4 years? He haven't commented yet. He might be typing his fingers away. So he said he would play a supportive role. It's not the change, it's how you handle the change. He would be a supportive role. Yeah, I mean, I know him personally, so I feel like his demeanor, he would be able to. So this might be, I don't know how people are going to respond to this, but sometimes we see public conversations, right, surrounding celebrities like Cardi B and Offset, where success, marriage, and personal choices were discussed openly. We also seen with Kiki when she was splitting up with her husband. We've seen a lot of that in, like, the public eye. And I know I've heard mixed comments, some people saying, oh, she deserved this, or by any means, I don't feel like anybody, I don't care who it is, nobody deserves to be mistreated. But we've seen this publicly, right? I mean, that's the reason why she made her album, and she made this whole concert drama tour, because it's like, I am the drama, because everybody has something to say about her leaving her husband and then dating someone else. But it seemed like everybody was, some people wasn't okay with Offset cheating, but it seemed like it was more of a bigger thing when she decided to leave and when she decided to choose herself than it was when he was doing what he was doing. It was kind of like brushed aside or whatever, like, oh, it's just a man being a man, and you know, but her public life, you know, her life, because she's a public figure, her private life was made public. And do you think that people in like high power positions like that, what they face privately? She openly talked about, I don't know if any other people seen her talk on Angie Martinez show, but she kind of talked about how she was depressed, like she was in a depression, she didn't want to come outside, and just going through all of that. And then it's like nobody sees that part because it's private, right? She's not outside showing everybody she's crying and that she's, you know, a mess. But then it's like once she came out and she was healed, everybody had a certain opinion. Like I heard a lot of men saying negative comments about her or whatever. And it's just like, so it was okay for her to be a doormat, but now that she decided to not be a doormat, like now it's not okay. And then, you know, that he should get half her money and all this crazy stuff. So Wes said, you can't be sleeping with the enemy. Either you with me or against me. It's nothing in between. But even if you was cheating, come on now. And then Jessica said, if you're in a healthy anything, everyone wins. That's another thing. It's hard to reach certain expectations from people. Be quiet, but not too quiet. Pretty, but not too pretty. Educated, but not too smart. Oh, I feel them. What she just said, for real. Wes, I know me and you done had conversations before about the cheating thing. He's saying, if you with me, you with me, or against me. It's nothing in the in between. But how do you? That's a broken trust. Some people can't trust you after you do something like that, because then they're gonna think you're gonna do it again. So, and again, because it's like, okay, I'm not leaving, so then you think it's okay to keep doing it. Nah. So he said cheating is not a deal breaker. So he says cheating is not the deal breaker. So does that mean if she cheat on you, it's not a deal breaker? Because that should go both ways.
How do you come back from that if you think it's not a deal breaker? Because going back on what you said, once the trust is broken, it's kind of hard to repair. So how do you, if he's saying that cheating is not a deal breaker, now let's go back on the trust. How do you get that back if it's not a deal breaker?
And then Jessica said, that's a trust thing though. But the judgment of other folks with the expectations, like it's okay for dudes to do it, but a woman does it and she's a whore.
So it's a double-edged sword no matter what.
Right. He said, be the favorite. Men deal in favorites and different rules. What you mean different rules? We on your head now, bruh. Because what if a woman say, you know, women, especially women in high profile positions, they come across a lot of different men as well. Like with money and different statue and from different places, just like men do. So do you think what's good for the goose is good for the gander? Because your girl that you cheated on may have like multiple opportunities to be around people or more attractive men and everything. They could do the same thing. Oh my God.
He did not.
So this Jessica, can you see what he said? Oh my God. I don't know if she can see it. Can you see what he just said? Because I know Jessica, she gonna lose it if she can read what he said. Let me know if you can read what he said, because if not, I'm gonna say what he said. She said, I'm trying not to. So this man said you can wash. You can wash. You can wash pee. Oh, he said, okay. So he been see, did you read what he said, Janella?
I read it. I was like, that's why I say he did not just yeah. For everybody, you can wash P off a D. It's harder to wash D out of a P.
He said he didn't make the rules. Oh my God. Yeah, Jessica. He out of control. Out of control. Like, how can you say that though? Because women, like we might not want that. You done had it in somebody else. She said she trying not to. Don't make them. West, he over here igniting fire. He said, I don't want, Jessica said she don't want nobody to cry. Give it to him, Jessica. Hey, Cisco, I seen you joined. I don't know if you still on here. Oh my God, this fool said the truth ain't always pretty. So let me just answer this question for me, Wes, and be 100% honest. If your girl cheat on you, you gonna stay? I'm waiting for his answer. And then Jessica said, first of all, this is a rooted conversation, sir. All due respect, no. She said, and that's the PG version because she not trying to go rated R with her comment. So he said, hell no, he wouldn't stay. So let me get this right.
Wait.
You can go out and cheat, and she's supposed to stay with you after you got, excuse my French, a dirty dick. But if she go out and cheat, you not gonna stay. Like, come on now. He said that's like wearing someone else's condom. Well, what do you think? Jessica, get him. I'm okay. You can go rated R now. Janella, I know you want to say something. You just so Cisco said I would be mad, but try to work it out if I know I'm doing the same thing. Okay, so he kind of agreed, like he doing the same thing or whatever. And then Jessica said it's okay for him to fuck whatever. What is that? And then bring back anything home like herpes. Who knows? He's gonna come home, but let her do it. She said, okay, I'm gonna curse this one time. Excuse me, Facebook, but she said, motherfucker, please. She said, I hope your shit don't fall off.
Out now.
She said, I hope your shit don't fall off. You hold a woman to a higher standard. I agree. I feel like you should hold a man to a higher standard too.
Both. There should be no men versus
Y'all
women.
should be equal. Like
to each other. Like if a woman
hello.
if a woman cheat, then that's it. If a man cheat, that's it. It's very hard to regain that trust back on both sexes.
Because honestly, he said you hold a woman to a higher standard. You all should hold yourself to a higher standard. Like you should want best for your, just like you want best for yourself and you don't want your woman to cheat, you should, she wants the same thing. Oh, and then Cisco said, oh, Jessica is going off. Jessica, I sit in your inbox where you could get on the stage. You need to get on the stage because she is snapping. So she said, so what, you could bring her some bugs home? She was like, so you could come poison the water hole? Get the fuck out here. Right. Because that's another thing. When you made your comment, women have innies. We don't have outies. We have innies. So if you out here sleeping with somebody else and then you're dirtying up the water hole, that's bad too. That's just as bad as the woman going to sleep with somebody else. And then Cisco said, when you love someone, you forgive them and you try to work it out. And Jessica said, you don't want nobody with frequent flyer miles on them.
I agree with that.
Nago said 100. A man would sleep with a woman and can care less about what her name is. But you still don't see a problem with that though? Like, if a man's doing that, is he protecting himself? Is he out here just naked? Oh, Janella, Jessica said, please forgive her. She tried to keep it, tried to keep it in, but it wasn't working.
I think she needs to let it out. Take out the PG. We're now rated R, girl. It ain't no PG no more. Keep it rated. We're now rated R.
He said, I'm not gonna dirty up the water hole I drink out of. So explain. You gotta explain, bro. How is that not, you still dirtying it up? What do you mean? And then Cisco said, I just look at it this way. I would want her to forgive me if I did it. See? Amen. Ego or something. Nah, it goes both ways. True that. West, explain yourself. Explain yourself. He says self-preservation is the first law of nature. Exactly. That go for male or female. So a female gonna save herself for sure. Like you said, we got innies. You got an outie. I'm going to do right by myself, regardless. What you mean you're going to do right by yourself? If you cheating on your partner, you feel like that's being right by yourself? Or you mean when you cheat on her, you going to wear protection? Jessica is finna get you. I'm just putting it out there because I could see her with the dots in her
I need her to come to the platform and talk.
Janella said, come to the platform, Jessica.
I invite you, please.
I sent you in the inbox the link to join the stage. She said, so wait, if he screws around and comes home, does he just leave her? To a man, pussy is personal. Jessica, wait a minute. Let me put this link on here so Jessica and Cisco can join on the stage because y'all need to get him. For real. Because he not I just don't understand.
Because I'm trying to understand. Is it also the man protecting himself and also being selfish to make sure that he himself doesn't get hurt? Is that why he's?
What you mean? Oh, meaning that's why
Yeah,
he's cheating?
that's why he's. So it's protection, and so this is their own. This is his own defense mechanism, which is what he says yes. So you're doing this to protect yourself in your own defense mechanism, so you're not trying to get attached.
He said younger men are greedy.
Okay.
Oh God. Is this thing on?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh Jesus. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
We've been calling you out instead of you typing.
Oh, I'll tell you what, boy, it sure is gonna save my thumbs. I'll tell you what.
That's what I'm saying. I said, okay, now rated R, sis. Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to do scorched earth. I'm a little behind. I really don't want to insult anybody. So what's happening?
Wes, I don't know if you could get on the stage. I think I sent you the link too, but you done started something.
Oh, we caught fire.
Yeah, we did. So I think on his side, from what I'm getting, is that I think he's trying to protect himself.
Right. Okay. So the premise of the topic is what again? We're talking about. Oh Lord, he said it's okay for him to do whatever he pleases, and then he comes home, and then but if she were to do that, it'd be all bad.
And then he said, but men outgrow the behavior. So you're speaking from a sense of a man who was in his young age doing this. But now that he's older, he's not doing it anymore. He said,
okay,
yeah.
I can appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a difference though. Okay, right. So change behavior is one thing, and boundaries of a relationship and rules are another. And yeah, I mean if you're a habitual cheater is different than if you've been with somebody for a while and then oops, they cheated, and then it comes down to other things after that. But that's the whole thing is but I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to go scorched earth on you to make you feel some type of way. That's not what we're here for, right?
He said, I'm speaking from experience. So basically, are you saying when you were younger that's what you were doing, and then now that you're older, you know better, so you do better? I think that's what he means.
That's what I'm thinking too.
think that's what he mean.
Because everybody learns. I mean, shit. Like I've been there too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a perfect individual, you know, but like there's a difference. Like at some point you do learn, like you do change your behavior. Well, it depends if it affects you enough for that to happen, right?
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think he brought the smoke tonight with that question.
And I agree with that too, because I think so. You turn your L's into lessons, and then whatever you reflect upon that will determine what your next decision to do next.
Absolutely. And then like respect for your people and, you know, the things that are involved in your life enough to not to.
He said, I'll hit a straight every now and then. I'll hit a straight every now and then back in the day, but nowadays I know it's nothing out there. Okay. I see the growth in you. Because we was about to get you, sir.
Whew, that was heated. Oh.
I had to hold my tongue a little bit. I was like, wait a minute, let me give him a chance to explain.
That is about to get you. You was about to get.
You know, but God love a grown man though. Tell you what, like once you get
We
passed
love
on
growth.
into the growth field.
We love the growth. We appreciate, actually, as women, we appreciate the growth and like
We
what you can
do.
do with that as a
We
partner,
do.
as a, you know, because that to us, it's not about like what you're gonna do for us. It's like what you can go from the mistakes that you did, the learn, and then the process, seeing the before and the after. That's what we appreciate. We also do that as women.
And then my question was gonna be, have your priorities shifted over time? But Wes did, you know, acknowledge that his priorities have shifted over time, that he's not the same person he was maybe 10 or 15 years ago. He said, yeah, but you have to learn. Yeah. And that's everybody, not just you. Everybody had to learn that. We added. No, I'm not doing that. So if someone is trying to build a career, maintain relationships, and still protect their peace, what advice would you give them, Janella?
The advice I would give somebody just to maintain their peace is be protective of who you give your energy to. So when I say that is that no, if I'm gonna give it to somebody, or if I'm gonna interact with somebody, I have to know that it's time to be selfless. It's time to be selfish for me. Because at this point in time, I want peace, whether that's obtaining a job, obtaining this. At the end of the day, I want peace for myself. So, in order to protect that, I need to be able to know which people or individual or situation is worth my energy. So, that would be my advice to anybody that's either going through school or going through any type of thing, is that whoever you're interacting with has to be worth the interaction. To know that there's no need for extra energy when it's not being reciprocated.
I think that's one of the hardest things. Well, I think that's one of the hardest things as far as a female, especially a mom, because you're always giving to somebody all the time when you have children. And so sometimes it's hard for you to draw that line in the sand. I know it was for me, because I'm like, man, it hasn't really been about me in like 30 years. Like, so now I'm kind of enjoying, it's all
You.
about me now.
It's all
Yeah.
about you. Being selfish is not. It's not a crime. It shouldn't be a crime. As a mom, you've given a lot to everybody else. I feel like now it's time to turn it inward and make it about you.
I am
Nobody's gonna fault you for that. I know you is now. Ew.
Ew. I am now.
Oh,
So what matters? What else I was gonna ask? I think I asked everything I wanted to pretty much ask at this point. Yeah.
I kind of did some fumbling around there and I missed the ending part of that, but I just wanted to tell you, man, like I could not have said that better myself. Like I've been trying to tell my niece that. She's probably not here, but I've been trying to tell her that for a long time. Like just kind of thinking like if I could say anything to somebody, you know what I mean? Like that was perfect. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I think that's important for anybody, not just for us as women. I think it's for everybody. If it's not worth the reciprocation, or if a person can't give that back to you, what's the point of you putting the effort in? It just
Right.
For what? I think it's there's nothing wrong with being selfish, because you need to be selfish for you to take care of others. Who's going to take care of you if it's not for you? How are you going to take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself? So that's what I've learned, and I'm still learning throughout, to make sure that I set these boundaries, and that learning to be okay with having these boundaries and not having to always please people.
Yes.
I'm with that. And I think too, like another reason it's super important is because like, so time is like it's like land. It's like one of those things like we have only a limited amount of. Like you can give as much as you want, but you'll never get it back. We can't create more of it. You know what I mean? So it's like you hopefully if you're here, like no matter who you are, like anything, any race, creed, sex, anything, like hopefully you're putting all of your eggs in the right baskets.
Right, because a lot of us have more time behind us than in front of us. So you definitely need to live your life to the fullest and to the extent that to make yourself happy, because you only live once. You don't get a redo. So you definitely have to make life a priority, whether that's being successful in your career, your finances, just personal fulfillment, just being at peace, a thriving career, whatever that is, that makes you happy and gives you fulfillment is definitely the goal.
Agreed.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
So running full circle to your question, based upon what you just said, Quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think now women can have it all, based upon everything that what we talked about? Kind of giving it full circle, bringing it back to the question at hand here.
I would think that women can have it all. Even if they can't have it all, still try for the gusto of having it all, because you only have one life to live. So whatever it is that you want to do in this life, do it, strive to do that expeditiously. Strive to do that with all your might, because you only have one life, and what you put off today, you may not be able to do tomorrow.
Mm.
And so especially what I'm learning, I've lost a lot of friends, you know, at a young age, and I know that they didn't get to live. You know, the sad part about it is they didn't get to fulfill like all their dreams before they left here or whatever, and it was suddenly, and 50 is young to die, you know. So just knowing that, just want everybody to like live their life and be happy, and whatever it is, I don't care what it is, even if it's just buying your favorite car and driving down the road, whatever makes you happy. At some point, everybody needs to do that.
And hopefully with the respect of others, like, you know.
Yeah.
Amen. Well said.
So maybe the real answer to the question, can women have it all, is this: every woman gets to define what all means for her in her life, not society, not expectations, not comparison. And sometimes having it all is simply living a life that is aligned with your values, your purpose, and your peace. So thank you everyone for joining the conversation tonight. If this discussion resonated with you, share this live with another woman who might want to be a part of the conversation, or another man. And if you enjoy discussions like this, please make sure to follow Rooted Conversations on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, because I'm going to start doing lives on TikTok too, if y'all got TikTok. And I also go live on Twitch and YouTube. So if you enjoy any part of the conversation, share with other people who you think might enjoy engaging. I try to go live every Friday at 8:30. I missed last week because my mom was sick. She's better now, so yay for that. But I appreciate having these real conversations about life, growth, and just becoming. So until next time, everyone, stay rooted. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to reflect and share your thoughts with me tonight, and people in the space as well.
Thank you.
So just remember, before y'all leave, life may shift, circumstances may change, but when you stay grounded in who you are and what matters to you, you remain rooted. So thank you all for joining tonight. Until next time, take care.
Woo!
Bye. Thanks, Wes.